Hey everybody, I'm Amber.
And I'm Maddie.
And we're
Witches Talking Tarot.
And today, we're talking about the fact that birds aren't real. Caw-caw.
Actually, you said that and a bird flew right across. They're listening.
Well, and I'm wearing my penguin shirt in honor of Birds Aren't Real because somebody gave me a polo shirt.
Real?
I mean, they're birds.
They're a type of bird, but
they're birds. Wouldn't the virus affect them? They may not fly, but they're birds.
I don't know, because is that ostriches?
Well, I mean, birds. They're birds.
All of them, no!
They're birds. I'm
a little heartbroken
I don't see anything in the Birds Aren't Real movement that discounts birds that are non-traditional little flying birds. So, as far as I can tell, it's birds across the board.
Oh my god, it's just, you said penguins and it's reminding me of that fucking Happy Feet
I
at
love
the end of Happy Feet where one of them is fake because they're watching the fucking.
Oh shit!
Oh my god,
that is weird. I forgot about that. See,
Happy
my favorite thing.
Fucking weird.
You know what? My favorite thing about the movie Happy Feet, which is funny because it kind of feeds into the Birds Aren't Real movement, is the one, basically we're the aliens to them, and we, the aliens abduct the birds and put trackers in them and whatever. And it's watching it as a young adult, because I'm pretty sure Happy Feet came out in the era where I already had kids, but they were really little, so I was still fairly young because I was a young parent. That never left me, that in the animal world, guys, we're the aliens. We're the intruders.
It starts out really happy, hence the name Happy Feet, and then it gets really fucking dark. That one penguin's got that one penguin's got a fucking 6-pack thing wrapped around his neck.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
It's actually I don't mean to gag, but that shit is creepy.
It's bothersome, scary. But that's why you got to take care of your plastic, guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. My grandmother, that's where I learned it. She cuts it every time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The thing, every time.
Yeah, it's funny. My mom taught me, but I guess over the years she kind of forgot, and I reminded her this is what you got to do, and this is why. And which aren't real.
It would be better if it didn't end up in the ocean or in the earth, but this is the best you and I can do.
This is the best solution, with what we've got. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. But again, it's to protect the birds from eating them and getting sick. But birds aren't real, guys. Still cut up your plastics. I'm kidding. Birds are totally real.
Turtles are real.
Turtles are absolutely real, and they will eat your plastic and your straws. So.
Switch to paper straws.
Or just don't use the straw, yeah. I don't know.
I'm a sucker. I'm
No, here's my problem. I've tried the metal straws. Yeah, we're gonna get off. Dragon sponsor us, and we'll get.
When I'm drinking a soda or something, I like the bubbles that come from the suction of the straw. So.
I mean, I get it. However, the alternate to a regular straw, because I am a clumsy blonde. I have almost taken out a tooth with the metal ones. The paper ones have cut my lips and my gums. Jeez. Regular straws have cut the inside of my mouth. So I just don't use straws because I'm dumb.
I don't like the metal ones. To me, they're guys. So hard to clean. And I don't know. I know you get the cleaners.
Yeah.
But is it... I can't see
it. Hit myself in the tooth. You know what? This sucker, this lip ring, if you're watching us on YouTube, you know what this sucker is. If you're listening, Amber has a lip ring and it's right in front of my teeth. This is the most dangerous thing to my teeth that I'm willing to put around my teeth. Seriously. The metal straws, after I hit myself in the tooth the one time, I was oh shit, I just won't use a straw.
I have tried a candy straw. They had them at Tropical Smoothie.
I would use a candy straw.
Oh, they were good. They were
edible
super
straw.
good.
Yeah, use an edible straw.
Delicious.
Yeah. Or a wax straw. I wonder if wax straw would work.
I think that would probably work better. I know the paper straws are probably coated in wax. I'm pretty sure they are, but could you get just a wax straw? To chew on those
nasty ass, I love that shit.
You like those candies?
Oh, fuck yeah.
And what's the point? You drink the juice and then you just chew on
Okay, not those candies. No, my bad. I like wax lips. They're either cherry or grape flavored and either lips or a mustache. It was a big thing when I was a kid.
Oh no, I'm talking about the bottles.
You're talking about I realized that when you said the juice comes out because these do not. I don't like things that put liquid into your mouth. When it comes to candy and food, anyway.
What? So Gushers? What?
when I was a kid, I did love me some Gushers. Don't get me wrong, but now, no. I've told you, like, I can't do grape tomatoes. I can't do cherry tomatoes. It's the same kind of thing.
I love a good Gusher.
Because, like, think about it. Like, grape tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, they're nature's Gushers. And no.
They are nature's Gushers. That's a horrible way to describe them because they're savory as fuck. Like, but anyway, birds are not real.
Yeah, they're
I'm
not
very
real.
excited.
They're not really eating my cherry tomatoes this summer, like last summer.
It's the government. Right. Shout out to our Washington D.C. listeners.
Yeah. Did you take out the birds with the rest of the CIA? Right. Are you a member of the CIA?
Right. So this happened in like the 70s, right?
Where so
supposedly
in the late 50s.
Okay, 50s.
It started. And it was the CIA was tired of the birds shitting on their cars while they're at work all day. And they wanted a covert way to spy out communists.
Well, that's why we should get windmill power. I'm just kidding, guys. But I know that was an argument about the windmill. Oh, the
birds shitting on...
No, windmills. To take out the windmill power, right? The power plants, right? One of the reasons why they don't want to put them up is because it'll kill the birds.
Oh, okay. I was like, because birds will shit on them?
No, because they'll be flying and run.
Yeah. I mean, those things are fucking massive. Like, I drive past them all the time for work, and I've driven past them, like... when they're disassembled and being moved from one place to another, like the blade is like two truck beds long, just one part of a 3-blade section. So like there's 3 blades on each of them on the windmills, and like one of those 3 arms is like 2 18-wheeler truck beds long.
Oh, wow.
Like they're fucking huge. I've driven next to them on like, I can't tell you how many occasions. It took me a while before I like figured out what those were, you know, but like... After I saw all of the pieces together one time on this, like at the site, I was like, "Oh, that's a fucking windmill. That's a disassembled windmill that I've been driving next to. Holy shit!
Nice.
Things are big, and they could take out birds, but birds are robots, so
exactly.
They have radar to get around that." Okay, but so the conspiracy is, they wanted to get rid of the birds, so they decided they would put out a virus that. Only way up in the high cloud space where birds would be affected by it.
No, Orion kicked me. Go ahead.
Okay. I was like,
he's like, this is real.
Yeah. No, it's not, sir. Birds are real. But like way up in the clouds, they released the whatever.
Was it like a gas? Like I imagine like
it was a virus of some kind. It was water based. They put it up and then birds would fly through it, and it would get into their bodies and kill them off, and it was like it was a fast acting decay process.
So there would be no bodies.
So there wouldn't be like just mass dead bodies everywhere. So like they would kill off X amount of birds and replace them with robots, and they did this systematically over a period of time until 2001. According to the Birds Aren't Real website, which is I read the website, Maddie looked up the other stuff on it, and so we're gonna have fun going back and forth on this shit.
She's got the history.
Well, I've got the novel. History is very loosely used in this episode.
I want to believe.
Do you?
No.
Like after I heard, like my oldest kid when she was like a freshman or a sophomore in high school is when she told me about like Birds Aren't Real movie.
What a creative
And I was
person.
Like, what the fuck? And she explained like it's this big joke. And I was like, holy cow. And like, during this research, I found out specifically it started at an anti-abortion rally. Mm-hmm. Where, like we discussed, somebody...
They had signs
Peter McIndoe.
Yes.
This is not somebody.
I can't believe
Peter McIndoe. This little homie is a fucking ingenuitive little motherfucker.
He, makes a sign that says birds aren't real.
And he holds it out in front of the anti-abortion
And people are, taking pictures.
Right.
They're
and
look at this motherfucker.
Yeah, and he's taking the attention off of the hateful anti-abortion protesters. If you're anti-abortion, I'm not calling you hateful.
No, not
I'm
at all.
This group of people
in
Memphis, which shout out to Memphis, where my oldest kid and my husband and my marriage all come from. Yeah, it's a scary place. No, I'm just kidding. If you live there, you know what I mean.
These specific protesters weren't the nicest.
Yeah, they weren't. They had really ugly imagery being shown.
Right.
And so he was covering it with his Birds Aren't Real sign.
Right. And then everybody started taking pictures and people joined in.
Yeah, some people joined it. And he grew a movement. And then he wrote a history for it, which is why...
With his friend. It's him and his friend. I don't remember his friend's name. But they just put so much fucking time into this.
It's hilarious, though.
Oh, absolutely. Funny. Absolutely. And, like, Amber just showed me an interview he did with, like, news, and he's, like, legit.
Memphis News.
I did the research specifically on Peter.
Real Memphis News.
What is his last name? Peter
McIndoe.
Peter McIndoe. And he talked about how he did so much research to really embody this character. And he took a lot of, like, characteristics from, like, other conspiracy theorists, specifically of, like...
So what was your favorite...
Thank you!
Favorite part of the interview?
Oh my God, I love the part.
Interview which you can watch on either YouTube or on birdsaren'treal, either .com or .org. Like, it's an actual fucking website. Go read it. It's hilarious.
I love the part that... when that lady asked, "Do you really believe this?" And he's like,
"I am offended."
Yeah, that's offensive.
Yeah, because what she says is, "Now this isn't real. Like, you don't really believe birds aren't real. This is a movement meant to prove what exactly," is what she says, and then he says that he's fucking offended by her question.
Yeah, that's like,
and he plays this shit off so well. So first off, for anybody who's not aware of the Birds Aren't Real movement, it's a complete and utter joke by the creators and by the majority of the members. As we discussed in the car, some people that are actual Birds Aren't Real movement members may not be understanding of the satire due to maybe mental illness or lack of connection with reality.
No offense.
Not talking shit, just saying I had said a blanket statement of everybody in the movement knows it's a joke. Mm-hmm. And then Maddie pointed out, maybe some people, maybe they don't pick up on that. Because, when I first found out about Birds Aren't Real, I was under the impression that it started out as a joke and that people joined it thinking it was real.
Right.
But no, it's mostly outsiders think it's real, but they don't.
They don't realize we're laughing at you.
Right.
You're not laughing at us. We're laughing at you.
Right. And the whole thing is, it's to take away from, certain other movements that they disagree with or want to take the spotlight off of because too much public or political agendas and viewpoints are being laid on that. So they disrupt.
So I think
protests, essentially, and in the most hilarious way.
I don't think that this would be a hateful statement. I think many people would probably agree, so I'm going to go ahead and say it, but I would love to see the Birds Aren't Real people go up against the Westboro Church with their protests personally.
I'm not even kidding. I legitimately want to start a local Birds Aren't Real chapter through Amber is the Color. I'm going to paint up a bunch of beautiful bird paintings and then just put Birds Aren't Real in the white part of the painting. And that'll be my protest signs that I'll let people use. And we will just, whenever the political things happen.
There's lots of protests around here,
at 7th and Rangeline. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's crazy.
But anytime I see that, I can have those canvases in the back, and I can just go do that. I can go Birds Aren't Real.
I know.
I want to. I think it's a beautiful movement.
Oh, absolutely. It's... I feel bad because now I'm dancing around some of the things I want to say because
you don't want to be too offensive. We're trying not to get political because in a way it was born
I did make the statement about the Westboro Church, but I think we're all in agreement.
Nobody likes them. Even they don't like themselves.
I don't even think they like themselves.
Yeah, no. They obviously hate themselves. Listen to them talk.
Well, I mean, there was
You can't say the things at a funeral that Westboro people say and go home and love yourself at the end of the day.
They tried to protest the Joplin fucking tornado.
No, I know.
Oh,
I know, because in our area, guys, if you're not familiar, we live in the Midwest, and the particular town that I live in is the most open to the LGBTQ community. And so when a third of our town got taken out and over 200 people died, the Westboro Baptist Church said it was because we are okay with gay people and have a gay bar in town.
And they come and protest.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I know.
That one hurts. Like, that upsets me to this day that they could talk.
I'm pretty sure
the
they
things
did some
that happen
shit
to
with
people
Katrina
that die
as well. Like, you know, they
go to funerals. They go to fucking funerals. They go to military funerals. Like, there's some pieces of shit. So yeah, if you're offended that we talk shit about Westboro, we maybe aren't the show for you.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to agree
I'm just
with
gonna
that.
like, not that we want to lose a listener ever. Please don't misunderstand me, but we've already talked shit about Westboro before, so it's gonna happen again.
Right. And I would love to see the birds.
It probably will happen again before this episode even airs because it's a maternity leave episode.
Oh,
we will definitely talk shit about Westboro again before.
Right.
Sorry, not sorry at all.
But the birds aren't real people. I think that would be really funny. Like, I mean, they're just so fucking
seriously
funny. They came to a town really close to us.
Yeah, they did. They came to one of the bigger towns in our area.
Yeah. And it was so funny. I remember it being on Facebook.
Yeah,
and, the guy.
I remember my friends sharing it and being like, we could have been there! And I was like, motherfucker, birds aren't real.
If you read the comments, people are like,
think they're serious. And that's what's so funny to me. And I think that's what's so funny to them too.
Right.
Honestly, like you showed me the picture of them burning the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh my God.
They go after bird logos, if you're not aware, like Orioles. Anything that's bird related, they'll like protest it.
Right, so they burned the St. Louis Cardinals fucking sign down because it was pro-bird propaganda. Or not sign down. They did not fucking...
Yeah, no, it was a flag. I think they themselves purchased a flag that they then burned. Not an American flag.
No.
A St. Louis Cardinals baseball team.
Yes.
And I'm sorry if, as a Cardinals fan, you're offended. They were just trying to be funny. Please see the humor. It wasn't anti-baseball. It wasn't anti-Cardinals. It was anti-birds.
Right. They're hilarious. I mean, it's just ridiculous how funny they are. And this guy, this Peter,
he's such a fucking ingenuitive young man. Like,
first of all, entrepreneur for sure, because he's doing this full fucking time.
Oh yeah, well,
and
he put so much time into the website.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you said, the merch sells. I feel like the website helps sell the merch because he wrote an entire fake history. Like, why does nobody come forward and say they built the robot bird bodies? Because they were all tripping balls.
Right, like he is.
That's the story. Is they were all fed LSD, like they were tricked onto a bus or whatever, fed LSD, and then made to build all these bird robots over like a couple-day period of time, just like a shit ton of people, and then they were disappeared.
It could have been you. You know what I mean? Like, but you don't know.
Well, no, a lot of them like disappeared afterward. They were disappeared by the government.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people disappeared in the 70s. Mm-hmm. Like,
I mean, you know, it's
totally
it's legit.
Possible. Like, I mean, and then he hired all these college fucking like student actors, and they made all the commercials.
Fake commercial.
Right, commercials. And
go to their website. They have the one from 1987, Birds Aren't Real campaign.
Oh my God.
It was so funny.
And I had read in my research that he hired some guy to pretend to be an FBI agent and come forward and say, like, this is what happened. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine. First of all, I think I would have so much fun with that role, like as an actor. Hell yeah!
Like, I won't lie. So, in the commercial, or not the commercial, I'm sorry, the link below the commercial on their website is the interview we were talking about on the Memphis News, and it is because they did a piece on him because he put up a billboard in Memphis on the fucking Highland Strip, which is where I met my husband, and I used to hang out as a teenager. Like, I don't know how much billboards cost.
I mean that's a big investment.
I mean, you said he's making how much money?
Yeah, he's making thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah, so I think he could afford to, you know, build up his... Because, I mean, that is on YouTube. It's everywhere, that video. Right. It was an actual fucking news interview where he fucking trolled them.
Right.
He trolled that bitch. Like you said, the male...
he was making those faces the whole time like he was bad.
He was like, oh my God, this guy's not serious. And then the chick, like, says, you're not serious, right? And he's like, I am offended, ma'am.
Right.
Like, he fucking trolled the Memphis
I just
News.
love that that's not him and that he becomes a character. And he doesn't even wear the same clothes that he would normally wear. It's like... Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, I was gonna say he looks like he walked straight out of Half-Baked as
Oh no, I just meant like getting into a role.
Yeah, no, I get you, but I was just talking about the way he dressed.
Oh
like,
yeah.
But yeah, I get like he does do a role, and it's like he picked the guy out of Half-Baked. I can't remember.
Oh my God, he's got that stupid ass like shirt on, and it doesn't even fit him. Like he looks like a stoner.
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
exactly.
like you were saying.
Yeah, like it's great, and like I hung out on the Highland Strip, guys. Like I hung out. That's where I met my husband. I spent so much time on the Highland Strip. I learned not to run in kickwares across the street in the Highland Strip, like. So the fact that this billboard is on the fucking Highland Strip, I can't wait to visit Memphis and take a picture before this episode goes out so I could get you guys a nice thumbnail for this episode.
Didn't he say something like, well, crime has been down 49%.
He did. 43% since the billboard went up, and we are expecting the key to the city anytime.
Dude, and people are like, this guy's fucking crazy, right?
Yes.
But they just
I love
don't
that it's
realize. I do too. You know what? I think I would love it if it wasn't an act, if I'm being honest.
Kudos to you, sir.
Like...
I'd love it if it wasn't an act, but I wouldn't love it as much. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like,
he kind of gives off that guy that runs for the president that wears like a fucking boot on his head. Who the fuck is that guy? You know who I'm talking about? Every presidential election, this guy runs for president. He has a boot on his head, and he promises everyone will get a pony if they vote for him. He's like 80, and he's been doing this.
Please tell me it's not Ralph Nader.
I have no idea. He's not even a politician. He's like a homeless man. And he's been doing this since like the 90s.
Every year, my brother has a handful of friends that write his name in for the presidential election.
Oh, yeah. That's hilarious. Okay, well, thank you for Trump.
I don't think they make the difference.
I think that there was like 300 write-ins of Harambe. Do you remember when that shit?
Fucking Americans.
Also just like that was sad.
It was.
I mean, he did drag a kid.
Well, you saved me from laughing myself to death by bringing up Harambe. Thank you.
R.I.P.
But like, so after I found out about birds weren't real, I like started watching birds differently. I get it. They do kind of look robotic in the way they move. Like, my husband likes to feed the birds, guys. Like, we may be not yet 40, but he's an old man, and like his favorite thing to do, I love you, baby. You don't listen to the show, so it's fine. He likes to go out early in the morning when nobody's up yet, nobody's around. He gets himself a fat cigar and a cup of coffee and whatever book, and he puts bird food out everywhere. He fills all the bird feeders, and then he goes and he sits at our table back there, and he lights up his cigar, and he's just quiet as fuck, and he waits for the birds to come so he can watch them.
I'm with nature. My coffee's black.
It is. He does. Yeah.
Ron Swanson vibes.
It is. He drinks black coffee.
Oh shit, I was gonna say something I can't even fucking remember now. I mean, I'm sure I will remember it. But...
Because he does that, like, I watch the birds with him too sometimes, and they do kind of look robotic. Like, the way they move.
Yeah.
Like, their heads move, and it's like, I see why you could make the joke that they're robots. Does that make sense? Like, and hummingbirds, their wings are so fast. Like, I get the joke.
I love the hummingbirds. I think I saw one outside your window once.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you'll see, they'll come up, and I'll get Corey to maybe put a hummingbird feeder out there to entice them, but they'll come up. We used, there used to be a big bush over here that died, but it was like big and had blooms on it, and the hummingbirds loved it.
So, funny stoner Maddie moment. This is before I had Theodore. This was probably like 2 years before I had Theodore. I know I've shared this story on here before. I'm going to share it again. So, we had this bird that used to come out by our car named Bertram. This is so dumb! I'm sorry. Like, just thinking about it, I'm like, what the fuck? My husband and I had smoked like 2 or 3 bowls that morning. Total wake and bake. We're just staring out there watching the birds. Wow. I love Bertram. We should put some feed out there. I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. We got some feed. So my husband goes out there and sprinkles the bird feed all around our car because that's where Bertram would go. The next day, our car was so covered in shit.
Yeah. There's some show or movie that
sober Maddie's like, what the fuck were you thinking? What the fuck?
It's like in Ozarks, Ruth is getting back at the KC mob boss's son. Ironically, we were talking about Kansas City earlier.
Oh, okay.
Because Ozarks takes place in Missouri. Yeah. So, like, they're connected with the KC mob, and, like, Ruth works for Marty, and the KC mob deals with Marty, and Ruth has beef with the boss's son, right? Mm-hmm. And, like, they've got beef going back and forth, and something happens, and her revenge against him, he has this really nice car, and she fucking gets a ton of birdseed and covers his fucking convertible while the top is down. And he comes out of the casino, and it's just... And if I'm remembering that wrong, guys, sorry, I haven't gone and rewatched Ozarks. It's just the one time.
There's actually a new scary movie coming out, or maybe it's already out, I don't know. It's a foreign film. It's called Hatched. Kind of want to see it. I don't know. I'm kind of scared. Basically, like, I'm scared because I don't know exactly what it is, but, like, this foreigner... I guess I'm going to call her a foreigner because I don't know what the fuck it is. It's either German, it's European, German, French, something like that. Maybe it's Swedish.
Not American.
Not so American.
Foreign fits.
Right. United Kingdom. Is that the United Kingdom?
Not all of those places.
Okay.
I don't know. Like,
European.
Bad at geography.
European, I think.
There we go.
Okay.
Also, shout out to the UK. You're 5% of our listenership.
Woo!
Thanks, guys.
But, like, this girl finds, like, an egg, and she's like, I'm going to take care of you. And so she takes it, puts it under her pillow.
This sounds really familiar.
Wakes up. It's like the size of an ostrich egg. And she keeps telling you, like, oh, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to take care of you. She keeps it warm. Gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And so she, like, puts it in her, like, closet, blah, blah, blah. And it hatches. But it's not a normal bird. It looks like a dinosaur or some shit. They won't show the face of the bird. But it's, like, implied that it's, like, a dinosaur. They show its eyes. Yeah. So she's, like, baby birding it. Bird feed and shit like that, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and starts killing things, and I'm so curious. Is it a bird demon? Is it based off some sort of European mythology that I don't know? Or is it a dinosaur? I don't know. I want to watch it, but I'm scared because things in different languages. Things in different languages are 10 times scarier, in my opinion. Like, I don't know why.
I think part of that's because, like, their society is prepped for whatever. Our society's prepped for whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're used to American horror. So when you see, like, Japanese horror, it's kind of freakier. Right. Or when you see German horror, it's kind of freakier. Right. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. I don't know.
Maybe.
Just from my lens.
Like,
no backing other than my own personal thoughts.
I want to watch it. I do. I'm also kind of scared of it. I'm like, what is it? I don't know. Maybe I'll just Google it and read the Wikipedia page. I do that sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, that's a way to do it.
Oh my God, the birds! While we're talking about birds, horror movie.
Oh God, so the movie itself I actually like, but Little Amber, scared as fuck of that because we went to Universal Studios when I was 7 in Florida. And because like I grew up down in that area, and like love Universal Studios, love the rides. I know we were talking about how like the rides from my era were cheesy, but I love cheesy, so love those rides. But they had an Alfred Hitchcock experience, and this is back when 3D was like new to me because I was 7. So if it was not new to the US, I don't know, I was fucking 7. But a lot of the rides were 3D, and the Alfred Hitchcock experience was 3D. And it was one of my first 3D experiences.
And you got like the blue and red glasses.
Yeah. And so I'm like 7 years old, and I'm sitting in movie theater seats. And mind you, I'm 7 years old, and this is Alfred Hitchcock, which apparently, you know, my parents thought would not be scary because it's like 1950s or whatever horror. Right. But it was.
Horror genius.
Seriously, like, because they did the
scene in the shower.
Scene in the shower from Psycho, and like that's how I learned that it's chocolate syrup that goes down the drain because of the color. Like, would be the most looked like real blood in the black and white era.
Love me some Norman Bates.
Fuck yeah. Like
fucking
all
Psycho.
You know, yeah. Oh, I used to watch all of those movies so much, and I've never gotten through the show, but because it got too weird. Like, it looked like the mom wanted to have sex with him.
I think that's the whole point. Yeah, I think even in the 50s, that was the whole point. Like, because he wore his mother's clothes.
He did, but like in the 50s, I didn't pick up on it. But in that show, sure as fuck did.
Oh, yeah. There's some, at least emotional incest going, oh my God, did they make out? Now I'm like, do I need to rewatch this show?
I don't know if I can. But anywho, the birds. So I'm at the experience, and like Psycho happens, and I'm like terrified because they do the knife thing and you're 3D. It's like, and I'm like, because I'm 7, and then the birds.
You think it's 3D? It's all like,
oh my God! Like
placebo, you know what I mean?
Still have that when I'm in the shower. I still get like psycho fear coming down. Like, legitimately, I have screamed when people I didn't like. Somebody came in the house when I was in the shower, and they had messaged me if they were on the way over, but I didn't message them back because I was in the fucking shower. And they walk in my house. And then they come and open the fucking bathroom door to tell me they are at my house. And I screamed at them because they scared the shit out of me. Like, don't walk into a lady's shower. Sorry, I got excited there. No. Don't walk into a lady's shower when she doesn't, like, oh, I messaged you. Obviously, I did not get that message. Does it show you on Facebook that I opened it? Because I know it fucking doesn't. Because I didn't. Like, you just walking in my bathroom while I'm in the shower. I'm a grown woman. Like, what the fuck? You are not my family member. Anyway, it was very terrifying because that scene never left me. The Psycho, you know? But then they did the birds. And again, still in 3D glasses. And all of a sudden, there's big beaks just flying in my eyes and shit. And I took those 3D glasses off. I don't think I saw another 3D thing till I was 10 years old. Shit scared me. And I didn't watch the birds until I was like either an older teenager or an adult because that shit scared me so bad.
I'm pretty sure I read that in a lot of scenes they used real birds, and in very few scenes they used fake ones.
Yeah, as far as like what I knew, like from what I knew, majority were real birds. I don't know where
I am a fan of Alfred Hitchcock.
I love Hitchcock. Yeah.
Me too.
I love his show. His show was so good.
The end of birds is so unfucking satisfying what happens, but that's Alfred. You know
I don't remember.
They get in the car and then they drive away.
Yeah, because it's a really long fucking movie. It's over 2 hours long, I think.
Right, but like their pet birds are
anticlimactic.
It is. But I think that was like his
the
whole
point. Yeah,
like their pet birds are okay. They're not bad. So why are all the wild birds going bad? I don't think there's any like. I don't think it ever explains it, but that's the same time the government...
I was going to say, that's right when the government killed off all the birds. Alfred Hitchcock was trying to start the Birds Aren't Real movement.
Right.
Way to go, Peter McIndoe. You finished Hitchcock's work for him.
Right, maybe. I wonder if he took any, like, inspiration from that.
I don't know, like, this entire... Just the whole Birds Aren't Real movement... gives me so much joy and pleasure, and it provides so much conversation, like, you know, tying in Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, because it would have come around in the same time that the fake history of the Birds Aren't Real movement was getting started, because the government had formed the CIA to try and take out
him and his friend did like extensive fucking shit when they were writing the history.
I know.
So that's why
if you read it, guys, read it. It's hilarious.
Well, when he says, I do this full time, you know, that's where all the merch and shit goes so that I can work on the cause full time. it's not a waste of money. He's not
it's
a fucking
the story.
It's right, exactly.
He's working on the story.
He's not just sitting on his ass not doing anything. This guy's a hard worker.
Hilarious.
Like
yeah, on the Boys in the Woods podcast, their episode of The Birds Aren't Real, they like actually read sections of the website. It's fucking funny. Like, just if you just read the website, it's fucking funny, because like part of it is they wanted to call it Operation Big Bird, but they were afraid of copyright infringement from PBS. No, the government's not afraid of copyright infringement from anybody, which is what one of the co-hosts on Boys in the Woods called out at the same time that I'm like listening to them say that
Big
and going,
Bird more propaganda.
No. Right?
Right.
Because he's not real.
Or
they're prepping us young. Birds aren't real.
Or the government's prepping us young to believe that birds are real by including a fictional bird character. Like, look, see how normal this is? This is a bird.
Big Bird is the least normal.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Well, I say that. There's Oscar the Grouch, who's a trash can. But again, I'm still going to stick with Big Bird as the least normal of all those characters. Because there are trash can people out there.
That is true.
Some of y'all took the wrong message from Sesame Street.
I mean, like... I want to say, is there any more bird movies? I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Where the birds turn against you, or just movies with birds? Because there's
birds in every movie.
With birds.
I
mean, like where birds are like a part of the thing. Because like the birdcage, but that is totally not at all about birds.
Okay, I was like, what?
Oh, it's Robin Williams and Nathan Lane, and they're a gay couple, and their son's going to get married to like this politician's daughter, but because the politician's in a rough spot, like they don't want the politician to know that they're a gay couple. So, it's hilarious. Because they run a gay nightclub. They're part of the entertainment.
I love
Robin Williams and Nathan Lane are goals. House. And Agador, their butler guy, he can't wear shoes. He never wears shoes. He goes barefoot everywhere, right? And so when they they make him wear shoes for when Diane Wiest is in it too, one of the aunts from Practical Magic. Okay. She's the politician's wife. But they're like, you have to wear shoes, Agador. And he's like, I can't. And like, so the rest of the movie, while he's wearing shoes, he's like falling all over the place.
Oh my God.
These shoes. And they're just regular men's shoes. And that's the problem, is if he's going to wear shoes, he needs to wear high heels.
Oh, that's the problem. That's
yeah,
fucking
he can't
hilarious.
Wear men's shoes. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He just can't wear men's shoes. Because it's in like, I'm pretty sure they live in Miami Beach.
That's fucking
Florida.
Hilarious.
Oh, bringing it back to Florida. I don't know, like, all of these thoughts, or all the things that the Birds Aren't Real movement made me think of, it's like, I have to go through, we were talking about Against All Oddities podcast, the three brothers that are the wizards that sent us the paranormal protection.
He made a comment about the wizard seal,
I love the wizard seal. When I showed Corey the wizard seal, he laughed so hard.
My husband put his in his wallet today.
Yeah, Corey immediately put his in his wallet.
It's fucking hilarious.
I love that we both told our husbands at the same time in two separate rooms in my house, not knowing the other was filling their husband in.
Right, that is so funny. Insurance. I was like, this is fucking hilarious. It's legit. And they're legit cards.
They are. Like,
They are.
They look nice. They're good. Like, they said they feel like they got the better end of the deal on the trade because they got stickers that people would pay for, which, thank you again, Tim. You're so sweet.
Oh, I don't mean to be like, oh no. Like,
that was my thought too. But their stickers are legit and their cards are more legit. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my God, I love this sticker. It said, what did it say? It was like paranormal protection.
Yes,
or insurance or something.
Paranormal insurance, I think.
Loved it.
I love it.
Love it.
And it came with that letter. But like, so I have to go through, I want to see, I don't think they have an episode on birds or aviation. But now I have to go look because I'm still making my way through some of their older episodes. And if they talk about Birds Aren't Real, it's gotta be hilarious. So I've got to find that out. And if you guys haven't yet, I want to hear you talk about birds.
So I do want to ask you.
Like, they're the guys that talk about taxidermy. And like, somebody exhumed their dog and it had blue teeth because of the minerals in the ground. Like, their show is just oddly amazing, which is why it's called Against All Oddities. It is just, they cover like
everything.
So much. And, like, it's so cool. Like, they're the ones that... They have, like, a book about astral projection.
Oh,
that I told you about.
Fuck yeah.
And, like, it's actually, if I remember correctly, it came from the U.S. government because their dad has a friend that worked in the fucking Stargate project, but it wasn't called Stargate, but, like, you know the movie, The Men Who Stare at Goats? Have you ever seen that?
I know exactly what it is, but I've never seen it. It's like World War II.
We should do... The Men Who Stare... We should do that for one of our
like
Richie movie episodes.
And, like, they're, like... Or it's, like... Right? It's like, not modern. It's, like...
It's not modern. I think it's the 70s.
So, George like, Vietnam.
Clooney. It's not... They're not involved in a war. The U.S. government legitimately had a thing for remote viewing, for testing people's ability on remote viewing. They had a team of individuals that they taught how to remote view and astral project. And they made a fucking hilarious-ass movie, and it's called The Men Who Stare at Goats.
But did it work?
Yeah. Yeah, we have to watch the movie. It's hilarious.
No, in real life it worked? Yeah. So, like, you could,
like... Yeah. Then they have an episode that covers it. Against All Oddities does.
Oh, my
Because it's like, it's three brothers who get along famously. And the middle one's name is Chris, which is my brother's name, who is the middle of three, which I think is funny. But the other two of us are sisters, so... Our Chris did not luck out where their Chris did luck out, because our Chris always wanted brothers, and I'm the closest thing he got to a brother.
Does it have George Clooney? Right?
Yeah, it has George Clooney. I can't remember anybody else that's in it, but I know George Clooney's in it. It's called The Men Who Stare at Goats, I'm pretty sure. Or just Men Who Stare at Goats. There might not be a the.
I think there's the.
But either way,
I know what you're talking about.
It's funny as fuck. It is a funny-ass movie.
I do have a question. If you had a theory... Let's say, for argument's sake, birds aren't real. Would you think it would be government involved? Would you think it would be aliens? Would you think it would be... I could see birds being aliens.
So,
this is all hypothetical.
This is all hypothetical, guys. This could go a shit ton of different ways, though, right? So, are birds not real because somebody killed them off to replace them? Or did birds die because something environmental that people did? Because my answer differs based on the reason that birds...
Did they never exist and they were on Earth and they were just...
Because it's all a simulation?
Or aliens put them on Earth like they did octopuses. Octopusi.
Octopi.
Octopuses. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, octopusi sounds way much like octopussy, and it might be a new nickname. No, I'm just kidding. 8 times, bitch, octopussy. No. Just kidding for anybody who got that joke.
Is that a reference to the Octomom?
No! I feel like you gotta give me 8 orgasms.
Oh, okay. I thought we were referencing the Aquaman.
Oh, God. That's so bothersome.
Okay, but... So for me, I guess my theory would be like birds never existed on Earth ever, and they were only put here by aliens to watch and monitor us.
That's a cool theory.
That's my theory.
So if birds aren't real, my theory would be that it was an environmental thing because most of our governments suck, guys. Not just the U.S. ones.
Shout out to the Washington, D.C. viewer.
Yep. And the KGB guy in Russia. And where else are we being listened to by the government? I don't know.
I'm just kidding. Amber is saying all of this. Disclaimer. I do that every time.
You put it on me. Oh, my God. That's okay. We're equally paranoid, but that's all right. I don't really think the KGB's listening. Please don't be. I'm afraid of the KGB. I'm not afraid of the U.S. government, but KGB.
You want her. You don't want me.
Yeah, KGB, do not come at me unless you're really hot. Because I always did want to marry a Russian guy, but
oh my God.
Got a Viking instead. It's okay. Yeah, equal trade. No, seriously, I was like, I'm like almost half Russian, so if I marry a Russian guy, then my kids will be like almost 3/4 Russian, right? But anyway, I digress. If birds aren't real, I believe it's because everybody who's in power fucking sucks and they don't give a fuck about the environment and they did some shit that killed off the birds, but people would be very upset to know that the government did some shit to kill off the birds, so what do? You replace the birds. And if you're gonna replace the birds and you have technology to do so, why not make them little spies for your own devices?
Wow.
To my own devices.
So what is your theory, listener?
Yeah. Do you think birds are real? They are.
They are.
The whole
but if they weren't real.
It's a joke for anybody who doesn't get it. It's a fucking joke. Just in case.
No, you are totally right.
I just gotta put, disclaimers,
But if they weren't real, what would be your theory?
Yeah, what would you think happened? Because, I'm gonna go environmental 100%.
Right, I'm gonna go alien. I'm gonna go strong on this one. Right. Well, if you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hopefully we will have reached our goal by then, which is 65 subscribers.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I was thinking of when you were like, by the end of the year, we want to be at 120. I was like, I don't think by...
No, I mean, the goal we currently have.
Our end of May goal, my bad.
Right.
Because you'll be listening in, August or something.
Yes.
I don't know. August, September-ish. This is a fall-ish. This is, yeah.
It is. It's crazy. Doesn't feel like fall.
Yeah. Well, this morning I could have gone either way.
So.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter at Classiest Witches.
Yes. See what we're up to on Instagram at Witches Talking Tarot. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Melissa. Hope you're still our patron.
Yeah, because we've been shouting you out in all of these maternity leave episodes.
Yeah, you're our patron while we're recording, so we're hoping you're still our patron when we produce or launch, air, whatever. Yeah. But I guess, are we...
Right, all right.
So thanks for coming to sit with us for a spell.